It was just after 6 a.m. when Elena walked through the misty alleyway behind Carmine's bakery, her oversized hoodie barely concealing the curve of her swollen belly. 9 months. She had made it 9 months without anyone knowing, not her landlord, not her boss, not even the girl who shared her apartment and occasionally borrowed her socks. She hadn't planned on becoming a mother. Not now. Not like this. But life doesn't ask for permission before it changes everything. The streets of Brooklyn were already stirring. Delivery vans rumbled by, lights flickered on in corner stores, and the aroma of fresh bagels filled the air. Elena paused, pressing one hand against her belly as a sharp kick reminded her that time was running out. She was due any day, but she had no hospital plan, no baby gear, and barely $140 to her name. She had spent the night typing a desperate message. Not for herself, but for the baby. She didn't want her child to enter the world with nothing. So she had drafted an email, written in trembling English, asking for help from a local charity she'd seen on a flyer outside a grocery store. A place that said, "Every child deserves a chance." She copied the email address wrong. Instead of sending it to the charity, she sent it to Dominic R. Graves, CEO of Graves Tech, a multi-billion-dollar tech empire that specialized in defense software, crypto security, and artificial intelligence. She didn't even know such a man existed. But he read it. It was 4:48 a.m. on the opposite coast when Dominic tapped his phone awake, trying to silence his internal demons with a scroll through the day's news. The subject line said, "I'm sorry if this is wrong." Normally, he would have deleted it. But something made him click. The message was simple. A story in broken but deeply emotional English. About a girl who had been abandoned. About a pregnancy she had hidden from the world. About fear, shame, and the desperate love she already felt for a child she hadn't even held yet. There was no ask for money. No scam. Just hope, fragile and fleeting. He reread it 5 times. And then, something broke inside him. Dominic was not known for softness. His empire had been built on hard decisions and harder walls. But this message made his carefully guarded world tremble. He replied. Only 2 words. "Where are you?" Elena had no idea who Dominic was. She saw the email reply as she sat on a bench outside a pharmacy, hoping someone would donate a box of diapers that day. His message was strange. Almost suspicious. She didn't answer for hours. But Dominic wasn't a man who let things go. He traced the IP address. Contacted a friend at a data firm. And by nightfall, he had an address. He didn't send an assistant. He flew there. In a sleek black SUV surrounded by people who couldn't understand why their boss was acting like this, Dominic arrived at Elena's rundown neighborhood. He wore jeans for the first time in years. He carried nothing but a bag, not of tech, but of baby supplies. When she saw him standing at the bottom of her apartment steps, Elena didn't speak. Neither did he. He handed her the bag. Diapers, formula, a soft onesie. "You sent me a message," he said. "By mistake. But I think it was meant to find me." She thought he was crazy. Thought maybe he'd hurt her. But when she looked in his eyes, she saw something else. Loss. Grief. And maybe, understanding. Elena let him come up, cautiously. She made him tea in chipped mugs. Her tiny apartment smelled like vanilla and old radiator heat. She kept apologizing. "I'm not a beggar," she whispered. "I'm just scared." Dominic didn't pity her. He admired her. He asked about the baby's father. Elena said he left when she was 2 months pregnant, a med student who said he wasn't ready and ghosted her. Dominic told her about his sister. She died in childbirth 10 years ago, alone. No one had helped her. He had been too busy, too far. "I couldn't help her," he said, voice cracking. "But maybe I can help you." He came back the next day. And the next. He wasn't trying to buy her. He didn't flirt. He brought groceries, asked how she was sleeping, told her dumb jokes. And slowly, Elena began to smile again. When her water broke 2 weeks later, Dominic was the one who raced her to the hospital. He held her hand. He yelled at a nurse who was being rude. And when the baby finally cried for the first time, Dominic wept quietly in the corner, holding his face in his hands. Elena gave birth to a girl. She named her Hope. She had no one else to list on the birth certificate. But when the nurse asked if there was someone she trusted, someone who might care for the baby if she couldn't, she looked at Dominic. "Write his name," she whispered. The hospital stay was short. Too short. Elena was discharged with a newborn in July heat, no air conditioning at home, and barely enough food to feed herself. Dominic didn't let her go back there. He had a guest house. A safe place with clean sheets, a crib, a rocking chair. At first, she refused. Said it was too much. Said it wasn't right. But he didn't force her, he asked her to trust him. And she did. Weeks passed. Then months. Dominic never once crossed the line. He made breakfast, washed dishes, helped with night feedings. He showed up not just as a man of means, but as a man of meaning. One night, as Hope slept in her arms, Elena asked him, "Why are you still here?" Dominic answered, "Because you remind me what life is about. Not profits. Not algorithms. Just love." The media eventually found out. Paparazzi swarmed when a billionaire CEO was spotted pushing a stroller in the park with a girl who wore thrift store jeans and carried a diaper bag. Elena panicked. But Dominic stood by her. He gave a press statement that shocked the world. "This woman saved my life," he said. "Not with money. With truth. She reminded me who I was. She reminded me what I lost. And what I still had a chance to become." They didn't fall in love like a movie script. There was no sudden kiss in the rain. It happened slowly, through nights of shared silence, baby giggles, and long talks about pain and healing. When Dominic asked her to stay, not just in the house, but in his life, Elena didn't answer right away. She waited. Until the next morning. When he found her in the kitchen, Hope gurgling in her arms, a note on the table that read, "I was scared of losing myself. But now, I've found more than I ever dreamed." Yes. 1,000 times, yes. They never made headlines again. But they built something better than fame. A family. A home where kindness mattered. Where a baby girl could grow up knowing she was wanted, not by accident, but by love. And it all started with a message sent to the wrong inbox. Or maybe, the right one all along.